everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing great and keeping safe. I am delighted to announce that finally we are a family of 2000 plus. A little bit of pat on the back for editing all of this myself. But yeah, so I had promised and I had done a community poll and a LinkedIn poll on figuring out which topic would you like me to make a video on next. And all of you, I mean the maximum of you selected this topic, which is today's video. And so today I'm going to talk about how to crack a PM role without doing an MBA. And so stay tuned if you have raised this question multiple times. A lot of people have asked me this question multiple times, and which is why I think it's very important for me to address this through a video. Let's start with the basics. Now, what are the channels of landing a product management role, right? So one channel could be MBA, but there are other channels which could be through your company. So let's say if you're a product analyst or a product marketer, product marketing manager, or you are into brand management, you're into strategy, making product strategy, any of the roles which are associated with a product role in which you are working with a product manager, you could ask to shadow the product manager, learn the nuances of the role, maybe do a couple of pilot projects and then prove your abilities and capabilities as a product manager, interview for the roles, and then transition into a PM role. The third channel is essentially not having any avenue to move into PM role in your own company. So you have to basically try to take up freelancing projects, internships, or just demonstrate that you are doing something which is product development related. So let's say if you're trying to work on a startup, or if you're consulting some other friend of yours or some other colleague of yours on a startup, on building the product strategy, conceptualizing the features, doing customer research, ideating the overall build cycle, any of the skills associated with a product management role. If you want to know what are the skills and what are the day-to-day activities of a product manager, here is a video which I've made on that topic. So, and do check out other videos that I've made that will give you a lot of visibility into what is it that a product manager has to do. Now, that aside, so coming back to our topic, you could demonstrate that you have done something practical on a product related initiative, right? So I gave you certain pointers. If it is still becoming very difficult for you, just go on LinkedIn and try to talk to founders and co-founders who put their titles as stealth mode. They are essentially looking for people to help them with the overall execution, or they might just be looking for co-founders, they might looking for product managers, they might not have enough salaries to pay or money to shell out. So you might want to look at an agreement with them, which could be a part-time basis, or which could be a consulting basis, or which could be even free, depending on what your expectations are. But what I'm trying to get at is, don't restrict yourself if you do not have the avenue to work on a product management project or with a product manager in your own company. You still have this third channel, which is through an outside or external freelancing avenue. Now, one disclaimer: if you are working in a company which does not allow you to take up any side projects, to work with any other party, to earn from any other source, there are some companies which have policies. Please go through your policies. Please talk to a fellow, peer, or talk to the HR if need be, and try to make sure that you are in the clear, because you don't want that your pursuit of product management preparation or just landing a PM role will affect your current job, right? So because you don't have an avenue to move into PM role in your current job. So that's the third channel. The fourth channel is essentially trying to build your own product. Now, this is the most difficult one, but the most effective one, because this is going to give you an exact or an even better experience of becoming a product owner or a product manager, right? So you could implement any idea that you have, you could implement any product related initiative that you have, and maybe collaborate with your friends or family members take some seed fund. If you have some money to invest or spare, just start building your product. It could be a mobile app, it could be a website, or it could be a physical product, let's say a toy, or a toy which is safe in COVID times, or something like that. Any arbitrary or random idea that you keep getting. If you're that kind of a person, then please try to implement that using an execution of that product build. You could also be an entrepreneur, and so that's like an interim of channel 5 and 4. So channel 5 is, let's say if you're an entrepreneur already, you're anyway a product manager, right? Because you are essentially looking after your product strategy, you're looking after who is building it, how is it getting built, you are dealing with a lot of stakeholders, you are dealing with a lot of conflict, a lot of market aspects, right? So, and even if you're not looking after everything, you still have to be responsible for the delivery of the product or shipping of the product, which we call in product management terms. So in that aspect, if you're an entrepreneur, you can position yourself as a product owner if you have touched upon some or all aspects. And if you're lacking some aspects, let's say you're a founder and you have a co-founder who looks after the customer side of things and who does a lot of research in the market, but you are taking care of the business strategy, the business goals, the KPIs that the product will have, and you're getting it built from a fellow engineer. So then you are lacking in the customer side of things, right? So try to get that experience as well if you're an entrepreneur. And basis that, try to reflect all of this in your resume. Make sure that whatever channel you have picked up, you could have picked up more than one channel. For example, you could have been shadowing a product manager in your own company, but you're still not able to transition into a PM role. So you started your freelancing work as well. Try to reflect all of this in your resume, and which is why a resume is your first and foremost entry point into cracking any PM role without an MBA. So please check this video out. I'm not trying to just push you to different videos that I make. Honestly, I don't really have that much viewership anyway, so I don't get paid for any of this. This is all just free service, and which is why I want you to get maximum benefit out of this, because these are tried and tested methods which have worked for me, which have worked for my friends, my mentees, my fellow PMs as well. So channel number 6 is essentially channel number 6 is joining product management groups. So this is again I would say it works for, let's say, 1 in 10 or 1 in X number of people. It might not work out for everyone, which is why I've kept it as the channel number 6. And so, of course, it is the last but not the least channel to follow or pursue, which is to join a PM community or to join certain courses or certain batches in which basically these batches and these institutes, they help you land a product management role. So they have a lot of network, they have a lot of product management hiring folks and talent folks in their network, and they also have these courses which you could enroll yourself in. You could learn the product management concepts, you could discuss with fellow peers, you have faculty to get your doubts clarified, and resultantly you also have avenues and platform to apply for PM roles. And because you have all of this guidance, mentorship, and hand-holding, you have better chances to land a PM role without an MBA. So these were my top 6 channels and my ideas, my resume tips, all of that on how to land a PM role without doing an MBA. I've intentionally kept this video very non-faff, very quick, because this is all you need to know. So now the golden question is, how do you get started? Start with your resume. Start with a conversation, or first the identification of what your current company can give you, right? If you're not in any company, if you're a college grad, start working on products. Start joining PM courses. Start networking with fellow product managers. Find yourself a mentor. Build your resume in such a way that you demonstrate your product skills and abilities, right? And I think I have already talked about PM skills, but I'll still do a video on it if not already done. But basically, you need to demonstrate hard skills and soft skills that a product manager possesses in your resume and in your story, in your experience story, and in your interviews, so that the other person can get convinced in your and put confidence in you as a PM. So if you're a college grad, it's a completely different story for you. But if you're working in an existing company in any capacity which is related to a product manager or a product role, try to start taking up extra initiatives and responsibilities. Try to shadow the product manager. Try to ask your leadership to give you a pilot project as a PM. This will help you. If this is not an option, then you can confirm with your policies and your HR if you can take up some freelancing projects, or if you're just doing it voluntarily, you can do that without even without hindering anything in your current company. Then take up freelance projects, talk to other PMs, try to reach out to founders and co-founders who are looking for short-term or interim kind of product folks, and assist them on their ventures. You could also join various PM groups and communities so that you could directly get the knowledge, resources, hand-holding, mentorship, guidance, and the platform to land a PM shortlist or a PM role, right? The other thing is to make sure that you are completely aware of what happens as a product manager. You are aware, you're building your knowledge base by reading up a lot of resources and by going through a lot of cases which people share on different platforms. You yourself are doing product mocks, you're doing product improvement cases, you're doing product root cause analysis cases, you're viewing a lot of videos. So when I was prepping for my PM role at an MBA school, my journey was through an MBA, but that was very unrelated at the same time. So I used to watch a lot of exponent videos, and then I happened to be on an exponent video myself. So that was a great moment. But just to put it all in a nutshell, these were my top pointers for you. Start today, start right now. It is never too soon to start. You could be a college grad, you could be a professional with 10 years of work ex, you could be a professional with just 6 months of work ex. If you are passionate about becoming a product manager, an MBA would not or an MBA should not stop you or deter you from pursuing the product management role. So on that note, I'd like to conclude this video and thank you all to be with me. Please share this video with your fellow friends and people who you think will find this helpful. I try to build credible and free content on YouTube, even though it is sometimes very taxing. But I try to be active here and try to post content which is useful and what you all ask for. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and please take care of yourself. Have a great week, day, month ahead, and I'll see you soon in my next video. Thank you.